Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You know what we're about to do. We got to do our watch party. Shout out to Candace. She's going live today at 5:15. So what else do we have to do but to sit around and have some fun, make fun of it beforehand. So shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by and jumping into the best live chat on the internet. Hopefully you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a beautiful Lord's Day on yesterday, and we're ready to have some fun today. Let me get some more light on myself there. That's a little too much light. Ooh, interrogation. All right. In order to get ourselves in the right mood, I think there's only certain things that are possible that we can do to get ourselves in the right mood to deal with Candace today. So I think the only thing that's right is to watch some Christian Johnson. He's a comedian that is always talking about the food. And I think this one is a pretty funny one. So let's start off with that. Shout out to everybody who's jumped in to the best live chat on the internet. Let's go have some fun. Let's go. Oh, by the way, he's going to be in Atlanta in May. I think, I'm going to say this. I need to do a little bit more research. I think I might turn that into a meetup. Maybe meet up and go watch Christian. If you live in Atlanta or you want to come to Atlanta, we go check out Christian Johnson, have a good comedy show, and go eat dinner or something afterwards. I got to find out. I'll make sure I get some due diligence ahead of time. But just putting it out there, floating it out there. Shout out to everybody. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
So last night
What is that? Yeah, what am I looking at? What's going on with the going on?
made a red velvet Biscoff banana pudding.
I don't like banana pudding like that.
Sweet Jello pudding, airplane cookie, Jesus. Wait, that thing said red velvet Biscoff banana pudding? Good God Almighty! I just know that's on the dessert menu in heaven.
I don't eat banana pudding like that. I mean, it looks good.
Ooh, I'm about to bite the blinds. Oh, my goodness. Huh? The more I look at it, the more it's starting to do something to me on the inside. I'm starting to feel like LMA. I want some banana pudding. Banana pudding. I want some of that banana pudding. With the Biscoff and red velvet, yeah. I see you got cups. Give me about 3 scoops in this solo cup here. A cup? Give me the rest of that in this pan. And respectfully, I'm only asking nice once. Lord have mercy.
I love this. I'm sorry. I don't know why. He cracks me up. All right. So he did that. What is this? He went to San Jose. Look, I think he needs to come here. He needs to come to Atlanta. We need to do a meetup with Christian Johnson. I think that would be hilarious.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm gonna thank you here. We back with another food review. Now, y'all, we out here in San Jose, California, okay? It's my first time out here. And I said, you know what? You cannot come to California and not get no taco, okay? So I found this place called Rosario's Tacos, okay? So we're gonna try them right now, and we're gonna rate them 1 through 10.
So I got the quesadilla taco, and I also got the surf and turf quesadilla taco.
You know what? I like the vibes of this place. It was like a little hole-in-the-wall taco place that, you know what? I like the vibes of it, okay? So I'm excited about this. So Lord, please touch my stomach. Hopefully it don't be bubbling. So here we go. Let's try it. We're going to dip it in the little water.
Little brown
and
water.
see what it's talking about.
Whoa.
Ooh! Hola, mocona. Hola, mocona. That's all right there. That burrito is burrito. Y'all saw the cheese pool. My Lord. It's cheesy. The burrito is good. All right. Now that was hidden. Let me see what this surf and turf talking about. Okay, so it's burrito meat and also some shrimp. Okay, so let's dip it. My goodness. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2.
I know he put that whole thing in his mouth. My goodness.
Yeah. Jesus Cristo. Adios mio. My God. Woo. That shrimp real seasoned. Oh, my Lord. Well, this made me want to sing This made me want to sing all the Spanish. Baila more. That's how this got me. Ooh, woo. Rosario's, y'all all right with me. Look, if you in the San Jose area, get yourself down there and try these tacos. I'm going 10 out of 10. Lord have mercy.
I love it. Okay. I don't know anything about San Jose, Texas, but hey, I want to go to Texas. That might be worth it. That might be worth it. What we got up in his best live chat on the internet. Shout out to Avengers up in the building. Did you see that fake assassin video from supposedly somebody put out and these idiots were actively believing it? Like, I saw that. Yes, I saw that. It looked janky from the word go. I said that. I'm like, look, let me tell you this. This is the thing. This is the problem. People don't want to admit that Candace Owens is taking them for a fool. So they're willing to subjugate their credibility on the altar of Candace Owens to not be made a fool, only to be made more of a fool. Because if people started calling her out as soon as she had done that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, the woman is in such fear. She is in such fear for her life that, let me pull this up so y'all can see. She's in such fear for her life that she went to Dollywood and was being taking selfies with random people in Dollywood. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Shout out to Susie up in the building. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone had a good holiday weekend. Yes, yes. My phone is not charge friendly at all. It's not charge friendly. So I'll just be watching. Okay. Well, thank you so much. EB, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm convinced Candace is using bots. It's mind-blowing people still believe her. No, shout out for sure, Betsy B. I believe a lot of her subscribers are bots, and a lot of them are non-American commenters. A lot of them are non-American commenters. So shout out for sure. Thank you so much. What was the video? It was I don't even have it saved. I saw it. I watched like 10 minutes of it. I said, this can't be real. This looks fake. Like, this doesn't even look real. Like, man, get out of here. So assassins are now wearing maroon and they're putting out hit tracks on YouTube. Okay. If that's what I'm supposed to believe today. I mean, y'all wild. I said, y'all are full on wild. Jay, I was wondering if I could send you a link to a GoFundMe I'm doing for my not-for-profit organization. It says Giving Tuesday, but I've also been in the hospital, so been behind on expenses. You can definitely send it. We have Nathan Livingstone coming on, and he's going to be a part of our Giving Tuesday tomorrow, but you're welcome to send it. I'll leave the link in the description. How about that? You're welcome to send it to me, dearwokec@gmail.com for sure. What's going on, Betsy? How are you? Afternoon. Good to see you. Future afternoon. Everyone, let us hydrate, say a prayer, and gird up our loins for the nonsense we know Candace is about to bestow upon us. Well, that's true. Let me see this. Hold on. Let me see this. Where was this video? I'd much rather watch. Is Jesse on Fire is where I saw it. But let me see. I don't want to.
Harley.
Yeah, to me, it didn't even.
And while the world is watching, a woman, Candace Owens. Okay.
To me, it didn't even justify being even watched. Is Jesse on Fire? I'm sorry, the video didn't even look serious. I'll put the link in the chat for you. Loyal Love, you can check it out when you want to. I'm not gonna play that one. I don't think it was worth even giving credit and credence to. It didn't even look real from the word go. Let me pull back up my guy. Gotta have him ready to do another video. Okay, here we go. Shout out. Both Sides reviewed Benny. He was wondering because I just saw that. I have not seen Both Sides conversation on it yet today. Yeah, she's back today. She's back. I was wrong. I was hoping against hope that she wasn't. And lo and behold, I was wrong. Two groups aren't even number one on Facebook. Good grief, I didn't get much interaction. What are we talking? Okay, I feel like I might have missed something over there. Sorry about that. What we got? Lots of good conversation jumping off in the live chat, the best live chat on the internet. Absolutely. All right, let's pull in my brother Christian Johnson again over here and these shenanigans he's doing. We gotta get ourselves ready for this. We've been off for almost a couple of days. We gotta get ourselves back in the mind frame of dealing with shenanigans. So let's go ahead and deal with shenanigans with Nathan and CW. Let's go.
So by now, everybody should be done with their Easter leftovers.
Oh, what is that? Yeah, what am I looking at?
Yesterday, this is how my family ate theirs. Whenever I buy chicken thighs or just chicken legs,
That's chicken skin. Okay, whew. He need to say something sooner. I didn't know what that was.
headquarters, whatever, I debone them and I keep the skin.
Yeah, why do you keep the skin, and why are you frying it by itself?
Why do I keep the skin? For fat shit like this. And of course, we're using Blue Magic all-purpose fry batter.
Wait, I know good and well he not using the skin as...
Which is available right now. Tap the link in the bio.
Sweet Tostitos Jesus, this man done turned chicken skin into a chip and got gravy and dressing like it's queso and salsa. Oh, heavenly chicken chip father.
So we're going to call this a soul sampler. And
That ain't no soul sampler, that's the swole sampler. I'm talking about just swollen up, just big across the back area.
use that fried skin like a tostada. My favorite was the dressing with the gravy because
It is big activities, but I'm intrigued. Chicken skin deep fried. Give me about 4 or 5. I'm ready for some right now. I'm ready for some right now. Chicken skin don't seem right, but I'm still gonna take a bite. I'm ready for some right now. I'm ready for some right now. Who you think you are singing both parts? I think I'm a talented Hey. Oh, sorry. Sir, give me some of them chicken chips. Yeah, he done turned chicken skin into toasted. Sir, give me some of them Chostitos. Lord have mercy.
Y'all, I'm back to my old shenanigans. Oh my gosh, muting myself. My goodness, in the morning, muting my own self. Okay, I think Christian is hilarious. Here it is right here. Are you ready to get back on the candy roller coaster? Not really. So what we're gonna do a little bit more of Christian Johnson to kind of get our minds ready, because I don't think it's possible to really truly do this without a little bit of comedy. So. And I might do I might pull in some Ami to balance us out a little bit, get us ready. All right, with no further ado, let's go.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Nathaniel here. We back with another food review. Now, y'all, I'm out here in Ontario, California, okay? And if you don't know by now, I'm always looking for something good to eat, all right? Now, I came across this place called Mr. Fries Man. So I said, you know what, I'm going to get some things off the menu, and we're going to try it right now and rate it 1 through 10.
So I got the lemon garlic crab and shrimp, and I got what's called the hibachi trio, which got chicken, steak, and shrimp.
So I'm going to go ahead and dive into this trio here and see what this talking about, this hibachi trio. So let me make sure I get some shrimp, steak, and chicken on this bite, as well as the french fry. Where's the french fry at?
Oh, my word.
All right, so I got all 3. Oh, ooh, hold on now. Wait a minute now. So I got all 3. Let's see what it's talking about. Oh, Lord, please touch my stomach. Hopefully it don't be bubbling.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mr. Fry Man. Ooh, I like that sauce or whatever. That's good. That's real good.
We have one of those here in Atlanta.
10. I got to go high. That's 10. I'm sorry, 10 out of 10. Because like I said, it's just that.
Wow.
It's that. Ooh, The fries are good, obviously, and nothing overcooked is well seasoned and everything. And then it's just whatever this glazed sauce is, whatever that is, that's what's doing it for me right there. I like that. Yeah. 10 out of 10. We starting off good, so let's try this lemon garlic crab and shrimp here. See what this talking about. All right, so I got all that, and let's see this on. Ooh. Okay, it's talking about something. Now this ain't bad. This ain't bad. It is good. I don't know what I had like something else in mind when I thought of like lemon garlic or whatever, but this ain't bad. I like that trio a little bit more, but this right here, this is good. I will say this. This is good. If I got to rate it, which I said I would, I think I go about a high 8, like 8.9, about 9 out of 10. I'll do that. I'll do that for you. Yeah, Mr. Fry Man. Mr. Fry Man. This trio here,
Not Mr. Fry.
this trio here, this thing make you want to sing. Yeah. I ain't lying. Look, if you in the Ontario, California area, get yourself down to go see Mr. Fry Man and try it for yourself. Lord have mercy.
Okay. Yeah, I told y'all, look, I need him. This dude this man is working. Okay, brother Christian is working. Okay, he is all over next year. So he's going to be in Atlanta on May 9th, 10th, and 11th. As soon as I find out where it's going to be, I'm going to buy myself and my wife tickets. And if you want to be in Atlanta, come on by. We'll go and we'll go out to eat or something afterwards. And we can go do it. We can go to the Fry Man. There's a Fry Man here in Atlanta. I think we could do that. That would be hilarious. I like him, man. I think I like his comedy. I like it. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. There's currently 250 of y'all that have jumped in. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. I know last week was kind of crazy with, we got maroon shirt wearing assassins. We got planes, trains, and automobiles chasing after Candace. We got Dollywood in the building. We got all kinds of shenanigans. We got Jason without a laptop. It was crazy work. So anyway, I want to say thank y'all so much for jumping in. Candace can't help herself. She's jumping right back into the shenanigans. The shenanigans will be on full effect. I'm pretty sure of it. I feel very comfortable. It's going to be full effect shenanigans today. So let me real quick, we got to look at Ami. We're going to jump over and ask Ami, how do we prepare ourselves for this and see what he's got to say. Ami Kozak, of course, another fantastic content creator. If the mods want to drop Christian Johnson as well as Ami Kozak in the chat, that would be super great. I'd love for y'all to go check out what they're doing over there. I've never seen this one. Sometimes I watch them ahead of time to make sure I know what they talk about. I've never seen this one.
All right, you guys.
Okay, let's get.
All right, you guys. More hot tips.
Hold on. Don't jump. Don't jump too fast, Ami. Don't jump too fast. All right, shout out to the best live chat. Candace Owens bombshell breakfast. I don't think I've seen this one. Let's get at it, everybody. Make sure you jump into the best live chat on the internet. Give me your like number. Tell us what number you are, and make sure you say what's up to your people. Let's get it going. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat where you can hear.
Right, you guys. More hot tips coming in day by day. The plot thickens, and a crazy thing happened to me this morning. Very close call, actually, an attempt on my life. I was at a French bakery that I often eat at for breakfast, Les Moissons Isabelle, and I was eating a croissant, and I nearly choked. Just eating a croissant, minding my business, took a bite, tried to swallow, went down the wrong pipe. Thank God I just went, and it came out. When I coughed up the croissant and cleared my throat, I just sat there thinking, something doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right. And when I feel something, I know something. When I feel something, especially lodged in my throat, I know. I don't know, but I know, you know? Clearly, there were some deep state actors in the French government, in the Macron government, in the French Legionnaires that were behind this attempt to take me out. And I'm not going to let a croissant, one that I was enjoying at the time, take the fall. And then, a few moments later, something very interesting happened. If you look up the address of this alleged bakery, you find that it's listed as 47 Saint Germain Street. Now, if you look back in history, if you look at it, there was a famous battle in World War II that we were all taught in our schools growing up, that it was shoved down our throat. The Battle of Saint Germain-sur-Seine in July 1944. And it's described as a significant engagement during the Normandy breakout involving the U.S. 90th Infantry Division and German forces. During this battle, American forces suffered heavy losses but secured a key crossroads position, leading to a difficult advance toward the town of Perrières. It got me thinking, this croissant, this bakery, this thing I almost choked on, it's all military. It's all military. Later in the day for lunch, I had pasta, and I thought, are the Italians involved? I don't know. We'll see. But we all know the Italians, of course, have ties to the mafia, who are responsible for doing certain things to people. But of course, that's just how Hollywood portrays them, right?
Right.
There's also Jewish mafia, because these movies were made by Jewish people in Hollywood to portray Italians as mobsters. But why not Jewish mobsters?
Why not?
Why leave that out? I just find it interesting. Of course, at this very same Italian restaurant, they served Italian sausage, which made me think of no one other than Brigitte Macron.
Oh my gosh.
Something doesn't feel right.
That would not feel
Coincidence? Were they trying to tell me something? I looked at it. I thought, maybe, I don't know, maybe. Bottom line is, I will not be eating any breakfast for the next few months just to be safe. I was considering eating a bagel, but we all know who makes those. The Frankists, the Zionists. Not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Why would I even try to do that? We all know a bagel is even harder than a croissant, and the likelihood of choking is even higher. Not going to fall for it. Not going to fall for it. I will not be manipulated. I will not be pressured to eat anything that could cause me to choke. But I will say I am hungry. And for those of you who don't know, research has said that going long periods without food, especially breakfast, can cause one to hallucinate, be delusional, and imagine things are happening that aren't actually happening.
Shout out to Ami Kozak. I love it. That's Candace and the Breakfast Theory. Okay, wait. Okay. Y'all do know. Oh, hold on real quick. Let me bring this video in. I'll tell you why I'm stumbling here. This video right here. Let me make sure I give it a thumbs up. Y'all do.
As I've reviewed this footage, and any time that I think that somebody is shady or somebody is brought to my attention that is involved or I would like more information on, they happen to be wearing a maroon shirt. Have you guys noted this? Everybody that day, like I know, but I have never in my life looked at, every guy seems to be wearing maroon, that I'm like, who is this guy? Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Tyler Robinson, where everyone's wearing a maroon shirt, as if they were told to wear maroon shirts to identify each other. I'm communicating this to you because it keeps coming up in my research, and I think it means something. I think we need to hone in on the men, the people in the audience that are wearing maroon shirts. I don't think it's your go-to color for most men. In fact, it was so often that I was seeing this color that I reached out to my source and I was like, maybe it's a school color. Maybe actually they're all buying shirts and buying t-shirts, and the school color is maroon. This feels like something that we shouldn't ignore. As I've reviewed this footage.
Fun. Here, let me play the other one as well. Let me play the other one. So this is the other one that kind of got me laughing here. I'll tell you a real quick background story. You all do know that I made those two videos, right? I made these. The one that we just saw, this one, and this one right here. I made those. I'm the guy that put those together. And my brother's secretary sent me an email last night saying, "Hey man, I see this person doesn't understand why you wear maroon so much. I guess they don't know that you went to Morehouse." I almost lost my mind laughing. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You do know. Never mind. Maybe she doesn't know. Real quick, this video as well.
As I've reviewed this footage, and any time that I think that somebody is shady or somebody is brought to my attention that is involved or I would like more information on, they happen to be wearing a maroon shirt. Have you guys noted this? Everybody that day, like I know, but I have never in my life looked at, I mean, every guy seems to be wearing maroon that I'm like, who is this guy? Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Oh, he's wearing a maroon shirt. Tyler Robinson's where everyone's wearing a maroon shirt as if they were told to wear maroon shirts to identify each other. I'm communicating this to you because it keeps coming up in my research and I think it means something. I think we need to hone in on the men, the people in the audience that are wearing maroon shirts. I don't think it's your go-to color for most men. In fact, it was so often that I was seeing this color that I reached out to my source and I was like, maybe it's a school color. Maybe actually they're all buying shirts and buying t-shirts and the school color is maroon.
Say my name.
Is maroon. This feels like something that we shouldn't ignore. As I've reviewed this footage,
I don't know why that cracked me up so bad yesterday. I was like, wait, hold on. You do realize I made that video, right? I'm the one that made it. She didn't know that. And that thing had me dying. I don't know why. Because that's probably the second, if not the third person that's told me, like, man, I saw you on this video about you and your maroon, your Morehouse hoodie or whatever like that. I said, really? I didn't know. Tell me more about it. Like, I made the video. I'm the one that made it. I'm the crazy Yahoo that made it. Shout out to the best internet on the best live chat on the internet. Man, we got 365 people up in here. Well, we got a whole bunch of people over there on X. Shout out to the Twitter verse, if you will. 53 folk over there, as well as quite a few over here on the YouTube. Shout out to all of y'all. And she might know I exist. It's all fine. I need her to know that Jesus exists. And she don't have to keep doing this shenanigans and this clownery. That's what I need her to know exists. Shout out for sure. For sure. All right. So let me go back and jump over here. Mr. Ami. I think we got a little bit of time left. Your girl's supposed to be going live in a few minutes. And we'll probably be right on track with her. I do want to remind you that tomorrow we're going to have Nathan Livingstone from Milk Bar TV. He'll be on the channel at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So what we'll probably do is start our Candace content late. So maybe we'll come on a little bit. Depends on when she goes live. If she goes live at 5, then maybe we'll do it up till 6 and then jump over here with Nathan. Or if she does it later, maybe we'll start hers later and me and Nathan will do it. I don't know. I do have an interview I want to do with Nathan Livingstone. But if you're not familiar with him, follow him on X as well as here on YouTube, Milk Bar TV. Most of us content creators absolutely owe a debt of gratitude to Nathan because he's done such a great job of bringing us up to speed, giving us new content, so on and so forth, and such like that. So let me I'm just seeing the title of Ami's next video, and I have no idea what this. I know I've never seen this one. All right, let's bring it in. Let's see what he's got to say. And I will tell you this: I did not make this video. All right, let's go.
All right, you guys. So as the plot thickens on this story, we continue to unravel and expose the truth about what happened on that day in Utah. Still more suspicious activities, as we've been telling you with every episode. We continue to uncover just insane coincidences. We have now multiple Egyptian planes that were flying that day. We don't know why they were flying. We don't know what they were doing. I didn't even know Egypt had planes, but apparently they do. They have several planes that were flying that day. If you look back at history, if you look at it, because I look at history, I take history, and then I look at it, and I always look at it, you come to an interesting story that has to do with a certain people in the land of Egypt many, many years ago. These were Jewish people. Back then they were called the Hebrews, and they were in ancient Egypt Fast forward to today, quite mysteriously, you have 12 Israeli cell phone signals detected at Utah Valley University on the day Charlie was killed. Coincidence? Is there a connection? I don't know. Could be. We're not supposed to talk about it. We're not supposed to ask questions. But if you look back in history and you study what happened with the Hebrews, what exactly happened with the Hebrews, with the Jews, with Jewish people in ancient Egypt, where did they go? Well, they vanished.
It's vanished.
Just like these Egyptian planes somehow vanished off the radar. The Hebrews went off the radar and they stumbled into a land which is today modern-ish. Wait, so that would mean, I just find that interesting. I guess the land back then was, what was it called? I just find that interesting. More on that later. If you dig deeper into the story, you find, okay, that there's this show that people were watching for years, White Lotus. I never heard of White Lotus. I was asking myself, what does this mean? What does White Lotus have to do with this? If you dig deeper, you find that the show White Lotus, okay, was created by Mike White, who coincidentally also created the movie School of Rock, okay, starring Jack Black. I just find that interesting. Mike White, Jack Black. You look further into Jack Black's history and you find that his mother was Rachel Siegel. She was born Jewish to a family from Poland and Russia. And his father converted to Judaism and is of German, English, Irish, and Scottish descent. Top of the morning to you, laddie. Black was raised Jewish, attending Hebrew school and having a bar mitzvah. Fast forward years later, Jack Black goes on to play Po in the movie Kung Fu Panda, which takes place in ancient China. There were ancient rituals performed in China that tied back into White Lotus. And so the creator of White Lotus also created School of Rock, starring Jack Black, whose father converted to Judaism. Who knows if he was pressured? I don't know if he made that decision on his own accord. He could have been pressured. Likely he was pressured by the Zionists.
Of course.
Something doesn't smell right. Something doesn't feel right. Jack Black, White Lotus, Kung Fu Panda, Utah Valley, Egyptian plains, Hebrew slaves, ancient Egypt, Passover, and some Christians were going missing on Passover. I'm sorry, you guys. Do you not see it? Can you not see it? It's so obvious. It's so obvious. They think we're crazy. They think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Jack Black, Tenacious D. It's interesting. I just find that interesting, Tenacious D, because tying it in to Brigitte Macron and the story we didn't want to talk about, they didn't want us to talk about becoming Brigitte, who also was born with a Tenacious D. Tune in next week when we uncover that the actual murder weapon in Charlie Kirk's assassination may have been Brigitte Macron's penis. I don't know, no, but I know, no, you know? Thanks for watching, you guys.
The School of Rock!
That escalated really fast. That went real. What in the world is Tenacious D? That's some crazy work right
Police are called.
Anyway, y'all, we're going to thank y'all, everybody who jumped into the best live channel on the internet. Real quick, let me see. Did you get my Egyptian plane materials for your files? Yes, I just did not upload them to our file, but you're right. I hope they suffice. If not, no worries. I'll make sure I hit you back and reply back. Thank you so very much for the $5 super. I appreciate you. And then Slayer, of course, jumps in with the 2 and says, greetings from Texas. Shout out to the Texans up in the building. Shout out to all of y'all that have jumped into the best live chat on the internet. Let me go ahead real quick and see where is she at. She is, oh, she's going live. Running late, Jason. Let's get at it. Can y'all please let me know when y'all can hear? It looks like I lost audio already. Let me refresh that real quick. She doesn't have audio as of yet. I don't know why she starts out with no audio at all. Here, I'm gonna hold on for a second. As soon as I pull it in, let me know. But at the moment, it does like a cult meeting, you're right. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Here we go. Let's see what she's got to say. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. No sound. So, all right. Some reason or another, the audio was not playing. So let me just go ahead and nix that, and I'll start back in. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened. Maybe all that comedy with Brother Ami was messing it up. I don't know. Let's go. Bring it back in. All right. Okay, here we go right here. All right, green hearts in the chat when you're able to hear. Let's go.
Get comfortable, you guys, because it is going to be a long week. I have so many explosive revelations to share with you. Revelations to share with you. And now it feels especially urgent, right? Don't you feel a sense of urgency right now?
No, I don't.
In the wake of me having learned that France apparently paid for my assassination and that the French Foreign Legion was apparently involved and on the ground at UVU on the day of Charlie.
She talks like you're talking to kindergartners. She talks like you're a bunch of children. That's one of the things I notice. Is let me turn it up a little bit more. I can't get, for some reason or another, her audio is always very low. I don't know what's going on with this. Let's try again.
Charlie Kirk's assassination, and we should probably begin there. Foremost, if you were one of the people online who believed for a single second that it was even a remote possibility that I simply made up a French assassination attempt heading into Thanksgiving week, I don't know, for like attention or something, I sat around and I said, I'm just not getting enough attention.
I do think you
I
did
start
that.
a global conversation about me? And then I came up with this idea of creating fan fiction where I imagined myself as the victim of a multinational state plot to
The projection here is actually staggering. This is some pretty good. She's been working on this. This is some good projection. She's going to try to dumb down and straw man all of the argumentation that's been happening all week on Twitter, on YouTube, and so on and so forth, because she knows she's phony. And I guarantee you, she will not give any evidence whatsoever. Let's go.
murder me. Yeah, if you thought that for a single second, that it was for funsies,
Sure,
because I'm not busy or anything, then you're just not sober. You're not paying attention to anything.
You're not sober.
And you need to wake up real fast. We're going to move quickly through a lot of things this week.
Remember what John from What Do You Mean said. He talks about the fact that she's going to give out a lot of information. She's going to give out a lot of information. Try your best to keep track of this. Let's go.
Because everyone in the world needs to wake up to how things actually work.
But-
LOL to the idea of Western democracy. LOL to the idea that you can win in life and that everything's basically you've set the stage for a meritocracy and you can get ahead. No, actually, as you learn things, you become a target. You become a target to people that operate in the shadows. And that is, I think, what we are all learning in the wake of the last couple of months, especially. Now, going back to November 25th, I obviously tweeted exactly what I was informed. Okay, I'm going to read that tweet to you in its entirety.
We don't need you to read the tweet. We need to see the evidence. See, that's the thing. Your tweet is not the evidence, Candace. That's the problem. You're giving us the tweet. I don't care about the tweet. I want to see the mail. I want to see the email. I want to see the DM. I want to see the voice or hear the voicemail. Somebody get on and corroborate it. We don't need to see your email, your tweet. Your tweet is not evidence. I'm telling you, she's not going to give you any evidence.
Urgent. 2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government. After determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple, I have deemed the information that they gave me to be credible enough to share publicly in the event that something happens. In short, this person claims the Macrons have executed upon and paid for my assassination.
Paid for it.
Yes, you read that correctly. More specifically, that the green light was given to a small team in the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. I am told there is one Israeli that is on the assassination squad and that plans were formalized. Again, this person provided concrete proof that they are well placed within the French government apparatus. Further to this point, this person claims that Charlie Kirk's assassin trained with the French Legion 13th Brigade with multi-state involvement. Journalist Xavier Poussard's life is also at risk. This is deadly serious. The head of state of France apparently wants us both dead and has authorized professional units to carry this out. I ask that every person retweet and share this. I do not know who in the American government can be trusted since this source claims that our leaders are aware. But I have more specific information, which is definitively verifiable, should they care to reach out to me. And to the brave official in France who did this because they were so moved by the evil of Charlie's public execution to risk their own life, may God bless you truly. Let all be revealed. Now, I got even more specific, right? I said there was a paper trail.
You said it, but where is the evidence? We don't care what you say. That's not the big, you are not the arbiter of truth. You should be pointing us this. These are the facts. Here's the fact. You saying it doesn't mean anything. That text message or that tweet doesn't mean anything. This woman is dumb.
That Macron allegedly paid $1.5 million. And I am saying allegedly because until I can physically see with my own eyes inside of these accounts and verify the transfer of that payment, it's of course alleged. The amount is alleged. 2 assassins were hired, one Israeli, one French Canadian woman, okay, a man and a woman. And I also said that the money ran through the Elite Gentlemen Club des Saints. Again, I was very specific. And I asserted that the French Foreign Legion, which was a legion and a group that I had never heard about prior to this notification, were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Okay, I don't follow military stuff. So me even mentioning specific gendarmerie, you have to assume.
If you follow Green Beret Nap Time, he talked about gendarmerie. Gendarmerie is a SWAT team. It's the SWAT team of Paris, I believe it is. So it would be akin to saying like the Atlanta PD's SWAT team or Chicago's SWAT team, the SWAT team of LA. So just think about what she's saying. She's saying that the LA SWAT team, the Memphis SWAT team is going overseas to put a podcaster's head to bed. Just think about what she's saying, because that's how silly she is.
That I got this information from somebody. Now, if you are, in fact, currently at this moment, the first man of France, that would be Brigitte Macron.
We're now, if you're keeping track, this is the third piece of information that she's thrown out with no evidence, nothing at all. She read her tweet. She didn't show us any evidence that substantiates the tweet at all. Nothing. No email to read, no text message, no DM, nothing. Nothing, but we just got to trust me, bro.
And you are currently suing a podcaster in America named Candace Owens.
Why would she want to delete you then?
For telling the truth, right? And the story that you are trying to sell to the public is that you were really deep down in your heart, you really believe that you are a woman and Candace is just crazy and desperate for clicks and willing to defame you for money. Then Candace Owens publicly proclaiming and accusing you of something akin to, not akin to, directly implicated in her assassination, a claim which has gone viral. When I say viral, I mean just the tweet alone had over 100,000 retweets and 45 million impressions on X alone, okay? This would be your unique opportunity as the French first man to prove your case about Candace to the public.
Wouldn't it also be a great, oh, wait. This is, hey, hold on, big screen, Jason, big screen. Wouldn't it also be equally as big of an opportunity for your lawyers to say that what you're saying is true? Because again, she's done this the whole time. She makes a claim and she dares you to confront it and prove that she's wrong. Why don't you prove that you're right, Candace? I told y'all, Candace Owens came to my house and sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies. Prove me wrong. Look at that face.
Right? In the court of public opinion, this would be your time to slam dunk. Remember, the French couple has been so psychotically obsessed with trying to paint me as conflicted in my reporting that they even hired a private investigator to try to see if I was colluding with other state actors. You know, they kind of gloriously insinuated that I might be working with Russia. They paid for that. They paid for that investigation. So using that logic, wouldn't this be the opportunity, if you're the French couple, to come out and to prove your point, to make a stunning and a swift statement, right? We are shocked by the accusation. Of course, never in a million years. Oh, we told you guys, this is just for clicks. It's for money. This is beyond anything we've ever heard. I hope Candace gets well soon. That would be what I would say you should do if I'm advising you from a PR standpoint, right?
What are your attorneys saying? Why are your attorneys allowing you to say this? And they themselves have not addressed the court that the people that are suing you are also trying to delete you. Why has that not happened? Candace is a joke. And I know, you know what? Oh, I apologize. I did not do this. I did not welcome all the candies. Shout out to all the candies. You know, you're welcome here at the church. Come on up here. We save y'all seats in the front row of the church. This is my proposition to you, candies. If you can tell me why Candace's lawyers have not propositioned the court in this defamation case to do anything, if you can tell me why they have not done that, I will stop doing these live streams. I will quit. I will turn these live streams off from now on. We won't do it anymore. If you can prove to me that her attorneys have addressed the court about this case, about this, the Macrons trying to delete Candace. And until further notice, we'll continue.
In American basketball terms, this is like a flagrant foul, and you now get some free throws, right? If you're the French couple.
No.
You're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees, investigative fees,
You're
and
going to do
PR
it too.
fees in a country on the other side of the Atlantic, trying desperately to paint me as a lunatic, and I give you the opportunity to spike the ball to prove that I'm a lunatic.
You haven't proved that they actually did it. That's why they're not doing this. Candace is just saying it. Like I told you, Candace came to my house and sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies. Prove me wrong.
No, they didn't do it, did they? If you're paying attention, they did not do it.
They leave me alone.
Of course, they send out the people on Twitter who get to come out and say, oh, I think she's crazy. I think she's making it up. They do this. We are always doing this every week. Oh, Trump never called her about Brigitte Macron. She's making that up for attention. Oh, she's lying. Charlie Kirk never changed his mind about Israel. She's making that up for attention. This is what we do every week, right? We're hamsters on a wheel. And so we're back to that again, right? People saying that I made it up. But what did the French couple do? That's what matters. It's now been a full week since I made that announcement. And here is the official response issued by the Élysée Palace. Nothing.
Because they're not going to address you because you're crazy. They know that they don't have to. They're going to just let you keep talking, Candace. I'm going to tell you right now. I know what the French are doing. They're just going to let you keep talking. Don't be surprised when they file a new amended complaint. Don't be surprised. Do not be shocked. And that's going to drag this thing out even more. They're going to drag you into some deep waters where you're going to probably have to cry uncle. That's what they're going to do to you. Because you won't stop. And so they're going to just we're going to keep dragging you in here.
I want you to bear in mind that this was front page global news from the United States to Russia. And I publicly challenged the Candace is making everything up crowd to prove it.
You
press the
prove
White
it.
House for a response.
You prove it.
Right? The White House is the ball's very firmly in their court.
Why don't
And
you
a week
prove it?
later, this is the official White House response.
Because we know you're crazy. Nobody has to.
So what are we to make of that, you guys?
I know what it is. Candace is very upset. If you look at her tone and her body posture, she's upset. She's perturbed. She's angry that nobody's actually responding to this because she really thought that this would have changed, that this would have changed the narrative and kind of moved it around. But let me also point out, notice that she's no longer talking about the French planes in the 920 building. Shout out to the 920 building. Shout out to Riley's Grill.
Did I report it to the
Rodney
White House?
Grill.
Of course I reported it to the White House. Did I report it to the FBI? Of course I reported it to the FBI. Did I report it to our counterterrorism unit? Of course I reported it.
What did you report to
paper
them?
trail. Common sense.
Where's the
Maybe I'm
paper
just doing
trail?
that because I'm assuming you can.
Where
get
is the paper trail,
a felony
Candace?
for
Show
making
us the
something
paper
up out of
trail.
thin air like that. You can't just use United States resources to go after somebody in a plot that never existed that you did for clicks on YouTube.
Let's go.
So what's the issue here? Why is no one coming out and telling you
Because
that?
Candace, it's because you don't have any evidence. I'm sorry. You don't have any evidence. That's it. Now, if you had some concrete evidence, you could show and say, hey, I gave Kash Patel these files. I forwarded these files to the FBI, the GBI, the CIA, fill in the blank. But you haven't done that yet.
That's completely baseless, especially the Charlie Kirk assassination. The whole world is invested in that assassination. Wouldn't you want to shut that down?
Gosh.
The idea that it was a multinationally planned event. And by the way, is that on its face even plausible?
No.
Multiple agencies and multiple countries involved from Egypt to Israel. People are saying that's totally crazy. No, it's the lone shooter who had never been on campus, who climbed the roofs like Spider-Man, happened to know where Charlie would be sitting and hit that shot in 4 seconds. Is it plausible that that's not the truth? Of course it's plausible. Anyone who knows anything about the French government probably knows that they have an appetite for cruelty and sexual deviancy. Anybody who has made it through the first
How did
couple
French
of
get in here?
episodes of
Oh
Becoming
my
Brigitte
gosh.
knows that the French government has an appetite for cruelty and sexual deviancy. Okay? LOL. The city of romance, really? Romance with who? Exactly. That's one of the broader points of the Becoming Brigitte series. And so I'd like to thank Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram, for being one of the first people to stick out his neck immediately and to assert what the entire world already knows about France. Here's what he said.
But where is your evidence? Just because this man has put his neck out there, but ma'am, where is your evidence? He's a fool for running with this. That's just his fault. That doesn't change the fact that you've given no evidence.
He said, after reviewing everything Charlie Kirk has ever said about Macron's France, I find Candace's information about French involvement in his death entirely plausible. Charlie even called for 300% tariffs on France until the charges against me were dropped. And I also would like to shout out Freddie Ponton, who wrote this article reminding people, and when I say reminding, I mean teaching people, if you're me, 'cause I didn't know this.
This is the third,
that
the fifth.
exactly this
thing she's
satellite of countries, France, Israel, the French Legion, United States, Egypt, were quite literally involved in exactly this sort of operation, which further reaching global implications, involving the Safari Club in Egypt. Now, if you haven't heard of that, this was the article that he wrote, passed as prologue. Safari Club illuminates Candace Owens' allegations. I had never heard of this. I really hadn't, okay? Because I feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland. A few years ago, I kind of believed everything the government said. I thought there were good guys. And after the Charlie Kirk assassination, I'm going, oh, wait, no, nobody is a good guy. These are like gangs that are running the world, obviously. Gangs that have gone mainstream, and democracy and the idea of a republic is just an illusion. Well, anyways, in that article, I'm only going to read a paragraph from it, but he said, when Candace Owens claimed on X that a high-ranking French government insider warned her of an imminent plot to have her assassinated, alleging that President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte had authorized and financed the operation, assigning it to a small national gendarmerie intervention group team that included an Israeli operative, She also suggested that Charlie Kirk's assassin trained with the French Legion with multi-state involvement. The claim sounded like it belonged to the realm of conspiracy thrillers, and yet, as the allegation ricocheted across social media, something unusual happened. People did not instinctively laugh it off. Some dismissed it, yes, but many hesitated, paused, or quietly admitted that given the right circumstances, given the right network of covert actors, such a plot didn't feel entirely impossible. That hesitation doesn't come from trust in Owens, it comes from history. And sure enough, and I'm just pulling up the Wikipedia page here, you should go read that article in its entirety.
I'm just going to point out something real quick. Notice she's reading people who confirm her point, but they have no more information than you or I have. So just because somebody says, hey, it's possible, sure, the Macrons may have put a hit out on her, that doesn't mean that it actually happened. Just like I said, Candace Owens came to my door and sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies. And you have to prove me that I'm wrong. Because she did. She sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies. They were hard as a rock. Prove me wrong.
But the Safari Club, man.
What does Wikipedia got to do with it?
Covert alliance of intelligence services formed in 1976 that ran operations around Africa when the United States Congress had limited the power of the CIA after years of abuses. They decided to kind of go overseas and handle business. They had members in pre-revolutionary Iran, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, and France. Israel's involved, Rhodesia, South Africa. I mean, it tells you there that the process is then resulted in the 1979 Egypt-Israel peace treaty. Peace. Okay, cool. Like I said, read more about that. Now, in terms of
let us read
replies that we received.
Maybe we should read the actual data and evidence. She's about to go on something else. She still has given you no evidence to believe that the claim that she initially made was true. Is it possible that's true? Sure. Is it possible that she came knocking at my door and sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies? Sure. Did it happen? Trust me, bro.
From government structures. The only department that we did hear back, well, first let me say, I did not at all hear back from the FBI on the American side. I did hear back from the counterterrorism unit. I did hear back from the White House confirming that that message had been delivered.
Hold on. A moment ago, she said that she got no reply back from them. Now she's saying she got something from counterterrorism. Well, what did they say? A moment ago, you said you got nothing from them. You heard nothing from France. You heard nothing from our government. Now you're saying that the counterterrorism did reply. She can't even keep her own lies straight in the 10 minutes that she's been speaking.
On Trump's desk, me saying that I had the information. I guess he didn't want to inquire further, which is interesting. But the FBI left me on red. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that. But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message. No response. Now, I thought.
So all of this was she sent a text message, and that was to somebody in the FBI. So that's what she did. She sent a text message to somebody in the FBI. Okay. Y'all, this is your girl. This is your girl, y'all. I think she's going to lose support from this. Oh, and by the way, did you notice that she talked about all the people that supported her and all that kind of stuff, but she didn't talk about Brandon, Officer Tatum? Did that surprise anybody at all? It did me.
That the claim of the French Foreign Legion being involved in Charlie's assassination, I thought the FBI might be interested. No phone calls even from Utah's
because they
FBI
think you're crazy
have come into me either. Wouldn't you want to see? Aren't we supposed to be investigating the Charlie Kirk assassination? It was totally not a state operation, and they really want to get to the truth, which explains why nobody called. No, Utah, not interested. I'm actually surprised Tyler Robinson's lawyer hasn't reached out to me.
What about your own lawyer? Why has your own lawyer not said anything? Why are you worried about Tyler Robinson's lawyer? What about your own lawyer? Why is your own lawyer not making a statement? Why have they not said, we've seen the evidence and we know that this is credible? Taylor, Candace Owens sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies.
Now we've got to protect the patsy, right? We've got to protect the patsy in this situation. Regarding the only official that we did receive any sort of a public response from, it reads to me like a confession. Let me know if you agree. So I pointed out that interestingly enough, after I began researching the
this woman
French
is
Legion,
insane.
I very quickly stumbled upon the fact that they were also involved in a joint operation with American troops in the exact weeks leading up to Charlie's assassination. More specifically, according to the French Foreign Legion website, between August 2nd and August 25th
No proof
of this year, the Legionnaires from
Hold on. She just said she was going to show proof of what she received back. And now she's talking about the French Legionnaires. She's not showing you proof. Wow. She said the only person that replied back, and now she's talking about this.
4th Company, 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment,
Wow.
the 6th Light Armored Brigade were integrated with U.S. Marines of the 6th Marine Regiment for a 3-week training deployment. Okay. That took place in California. Okay. And then once that training ended, I said this online, another camp began immediately. It was a joint exercise with civilians, which included military men from the Minot Air Force Base. And that joint exercise took place in Minnesota at Camp Ripley. And that ran just for a couple of days until August 27th. And that was known as Operation Valhalla. Okay, random 3-day exercise with civilians. And I was wondering if the French Legionnaires that were in California maybe jumped right into activities going on with these civilians at Camp Ripley. But I typoed on X and I wrote Camp Riley. Okay, so I wrote,
So
it's not
the
a coincidence.
again, no proof. All of her evidence is either her typing something out on X or somebody giving her confirmation. There's no proof that any of this happened. So now we are, yes, as somebody said here, info bomb to create confusion. We are 6 elements in to this, and we're not even, and we're behind. So I can only imagine how much further she's gone. That's crazy work. This is diabolical.
The French Legionnaires were in the United States training with our Marines for 3 weeks. And when those 3 weeks ended in California, another military training exercise began alongside civilians at Camp Riley in Minnesota. Should have said Ripley. Now, you will recall, for those of you who are following the Becoming Brigitte series, that the preferred Macron response is to never address the substance of the claims, but to instead focus on minor details that somebody may get wrong. That's how
The insanity of what she just said is going to be studied by science. Ma'am, you've given us no validity to your own claims. You're just saying, trust me, bro.
they've gone after every journalist who has covered the fact that Brigitte Macron was born a male, right? Oopsies, you messed up on this one detail, and now we're going to sue you for defamation. But not, of course,
That's
the
not true at
substance was
all.
like, hey, you lived as a man for a very long time, and the military won't release your file, and we don't know what you were doing in the military, as Jean-Michel Trogneau. So me making a spelling error was the perfect way
Nobody cared.
for them to attack the broader story, right? The larger story here being, hey, the French Legionnaires might have been on the ground during Charlie Kirk's assassination. So what happened is the Minister of the Armed Forces issued the following statement in France, and I'm going to quote this for you. Quote,
Okay.
Tyler Robinson was never part of the French Foreign Legion. If he did not serve in an American military unit, he could not have trained with the French Foreign Legion. End quote. Well, that's quite a way to dance around things. Did Charlie Kirk says, I see what you did there. You just missed the fact that we don't think Tyler Robinson did. So you just are issuing a statement. This is bogus. Tyler Robinson never trained in the French Foreign Legion. Do you mind answering yes or no? If anybody who trained with the French Foreign Legion was on the ground on September 10th at Utah Valley University. And we are asking that explicit question because one of the strangest things is that the UVU students who attended said that they felt like they didn't recognize anybody that was there.
Oh my gosh.
It was weird. It was very strange that they.
You know what is also strange is that you have still yet to show us that that's just a quote from an article. That's not even like the French replied to you. That's not like the counterterrorism, FBI, CIA, any of the alphabet boys or girls replied to Candace. Like, at what point are y'all going to stop letting her play in your face? She's going all around the mulberry bush. She wants everybody to answer yes or no, and she can't answer yes or no to her own question of where is the evidence? Where is the proof that this actually happened? We're still at step one, probably less than one, because we're not even believing that this happened. You're all the way around the track, and we're still in the starting blocks.
Advertised for this event really late in the day. And then suddenly we see a bunch of adults and people that they don't recognize at this event. And then afterwards, the national media moves to, it looks like they're almost trying not to interview any UVU students, right? They're interviewing everybody around. You got all these adults who were there, but mysteriously, the UVU students who had some interesting tidbits about what was weird that day just don't flood into the mainstream like we expected.
Where did you get this?
Can you answer that question?
Where did you get that from? Like, you're saying it, but where did this happen? How do we know that what you're saying is not true? What UVU students are you talking about? See, this is what I'm saying, y'all. This is not journalism by any means or measures. This is not even remotely what journalism looks like. And look, I'm a pre-K law student. My goodness, in the morning, I can tell you right now, this is not how journalism works. Let's go.
Or no, that seems tricky when it comes to the French government. Yes or no questions are not their thing. Elsewhere in the article, and this is France 24.
Again, another article.
It tells us that, quote, the Ministry of the Armed Forces confirms that a training exercise by the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment, a unit of the French Foreign Legion, did indeed take place in California from August 2nd to the 25th, as reported by Candace Owens. However, the exercise announced on the ministry's website and the regiment's Facebook page was not clandestine operation. The Ministry of the Armed Forces formally denies that another Foreign Legion training exercise took place at a supposed Camp Riley in Minnesota after the conclusion of the California exercise, and for good reason, because no Camp Riley exists in Minnesota. As Andy Parrish, the former chief of staff to the Republican state representative, pointed out on X. Oh, there is, however, a Camp Ripley, they go on, but this inaccuracy speaks volumes about the credibility of Candace Owens' alleged source.
But where is your source? Why are you not sharing your source material? You've been on here for 15 minutes, Candace. Why are you not saying, hey, here's the evidence that nobody wants you to see? The FBI doesn't want you to see. I sent it to Trump and it's left on red. Blah, 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 blah. Here it is. Why don't you show it? Because it doesn't exist.
Bunking it. A typo. I put Riley, not Ripley, and they can now confirm that the French Legion did not take part in any exercise at Camp Riley because it doesn't exist, and Candace Owens is stupid, and so now you should just assume that everything else source said is debunked. This is what you call a non-debunking debunk, a Snopes level debunking over a typo.
No, that's not it at all.
And
I'm sorry.
I guess my other allegations should not be answered or even explored. Now, I should mention also
Notice
after that civilian.
Notice she said my other allegations. My allegations. Not the allegations based on somebody else's claim. These are my allegations. So just like I said, Candace Owens came knocking at my door and sold me some 4-year-old Girl Scout cookies.
Military exercise ended at Camp Ripley on the 27th. Another joint military operation began from August 29th through to September 10th, the day that Charlie was shot. And that was known as Operation Bright Star, and that took place in Cairo, Egypt. Now, it is a biennial joint military operation. It's co-hosted by the United States and Egypt to enhance regional security and to strengthen military partnerships. I just don't love the timing of all of these things. I just don't love France and Egypt and the United States together for the whole month leading up to the assassination of Trump.
But let her tell the story. If you go back and listen at the beginning of this canard, The green light was given to quote unquote delete Charlie Kirk 2 weeks before he was murdered. These people have been in the States for a whole month. What are they doing for a whole month if they didn't know that they were going to have to put Charlie Kirk's head to bed? This woman, I don't think she even listens to herself.
Charlie Kirk. So I'm going to speculate until we get some answers, some straight yes or no answers from the White House, from the Élysée Palace, or from the French security forces. Now, as it pertains to the French Legion, something else that's kind of
No
interesting
proof yet.
is that they basically gutted and replaced about half of their leadership in mid-August. Check out this article published on August 20th. In 2025, a change of command took place across 6 regiments. Now, we researched, and look, I'm not a military buff, but we found that they have 12 regiments that are known of, and you're telling me,
Baby, we know about your researching. We're gonna need you to get that peer reviewed. We're gonna need your research to be researched by somebody who has common sense and is not having a mental crisis. Okay, that's what we need.
that they gutted leadership of 6. They put in 6 new commanders. Again, I just don't love the timing of all of this. Initially, the idea of French involvement in Charlie's assassination would not have been on my radar, okay? Having them at UVU would not have been on my radar at all until we learned about that weird hangar lease in Delaware when we were trying to track the Egyptian plane.
So again, if you've been keeping track, I'm trying to hold on. This is the 7th piece of new information. This is the 7th piece that she's given out, and we're not even a whole 20 minutes into the show. Just something to think about.
Plane, SUBTT, our yellow plane, which departed on the morning of Charlie Kirk's assassination from Provo, went over to Wilmington, Delaware. We learned that regarding that hangar, Satis, which is a French company, injected $1.5 million ostensibly to paint planes, okay, in Wilmington, Delaware. A lease that is way too short for that, whatever. And they sign off on that the very week that I get sent this cease and desist, despite the fact that I hadn't been speaking about Brigitte. It was just weird, coincidental timing. And it could be a coincidence, but I'm going to now test your resolve at home regarding French coincidences, because for me, it's a little too much, is what I'll say, okay? So we learned from a source that a foreign dignitary was escorted, right, from that hangar to...
Did we learn anything? Have we learned anything? In the chat, shout out if you've learned anything. Ma'am, you have not even proven that there is no evidence being shown. She literally read a Wikipedia article and a news article. That's it. Oh, and her own tweets. Nothing else. No evidence is being shown. If you are a Candy, I need you to start asking your leader, why is it that you don't give evidence? Why is it that your lawyers are not doing anything? I mean, you've been threatened by the president of another country, who, by the way, is suing you. Why have they not done anything?
920 North King Street,
920
in Delaware, a place that we learned and confirmed had 3 federal agencies working together in one building. The internet can try to debunk that. They can't. Okay, the feds are not going to debunk that because it's true. And then we learned that it is also a place which houses the attorneys that are filing my paperwork in the Brigitte lawsuit. I explained this. Delaware has a particular legal stipulation that even if you have your own lawyers, you have to find lawyers that will file the paperwork in your lawsuit. Okay.
So the fact that the FBI, Secret Service, and CIA are in the same building, that's sketchy. But we add your attorneys into the building, and that's not sketchy. Okay. I just want to make sure I understood it correctly.
On that very state by state. We then learned that Brigitte's lawyers in my lawsuit are directly across the street from that firm. Okay, confirmed. We're just warming up though, because the person that leaked that information about the dignitary being escorted, remember,
let's go.
That person
Come on.
never insinuated that the dignitary was French. But then after people on the internet pretended that he or she was lying about that information.
She's
They
upset.
decided to conduct further investigation. They watched the episode, and a light bulb goes off in their head because we're talking about Satis being French owned. And the person decided to follow up and explain to us that France has effectively been running the streets in Wilmington, Delaware since like before the Revolutionary War. Okay. Let's just start with a very basic history recap from this person's email. It all checks out. We don't need to get too deep in here regarding Wilmington, Delaware.
Shout out if you believe shout out if you believe that she's checked it out. Shout out. So now we got the gangs of France running amok in Wilmington, Delaware. So we are like easily on eighth or ninth piece of information in this live stream. I just want you to remember that. This is crazy work. I need somebody to, we're going to need somebody to keep up with this. This is crazy.
He or she writes a short version of the history, which is all verifiable, is that North French Street is actually the northern stretch of the original French Street. Wilmington laid out the original French Street in the early 1700s as Willing Street in Thomas Willing's grid. In the 1790s, a large cluster of French
Cluster is an
refugees,
interesting
many of
word.
which were fleeing Haiti and the French revolutions, settled along it, and the nickname French Street took over. This street ran all the way from the Christina River up through town and became a main hub for travel and business. Wilmington is more French than people would initially assume, and it's easy to see this once you look at its history. The north tag of North French Street is a later addressing convention for blocks north of downtown. So that's just a back up there, okay? Now, again, we're going to have to go through this class very quickly. America, the whole idea of what we learn in class about the Revolutionary War, and we were fighting because, we didn't, the monarchy. Okay. England was not even under a monarchy at that time. Okay.
What are you talking about?
I have learned in recent years that really the whole history of America is like warring factions of Freemasons. That's the reality. Warring factions of Freemasons competing for American territory. Now we're going to get into the substance of his email.
I just want to go
He begins
again.
with something that is speculative.
I'm going to just say it again. Okay. I've given up. I'm not even paying attention anymore. If you believe that, why is it that Candace is not showing you anything? She's literally just talking. This is a monologue. Why is it that she's not sharing with you any proof? She knows where her lawyers are. Why are they not replying back? Why have they not said anything about this? Why in the world is that? But we are now learning. We actually learned more about French Street than we did about her lawyers being in the same building with the alphabet boys and girls from the government. Why is that? Why is that just passed over? Y'all, this is some crazy work, y'all. This is some crazy work.
I'm not going to get too deep into, but essentially he
Please.
says that across from 920 King, there is a red crane. And he's able to confirm that the French are absolutely involved in this somehow. I found direct U.S.-French alignment near 920 North King Street using structural aviation markers, financial lineage, corporate fronts, and historical French corridors. Now, he shows us that.
What does that mean? There is absolutely a red crane. Yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on, wait. What are you talking about? Hold on, I saw it. I only do it because of y'all. Let me just say this. Hey, shout out to y'all. The only reason I watch this is because of y'all. I would not be watching this. I would not. I would not be doing this. If y'all didn't jump into the best live chat on the internet, there's 1,100 of y'all in here. I would not be doing this. I love doing this with y'all because I would not be doing this by myself. There's no way. I mean, there's just entirely too many sharp objects around me. I would probably delete myself. There's no way I would do this without y'all. So thank y'all for jumping in. What in the world is the red crane? Y'all, we got maroon assassins, red cranes, yellow planes. What is going on, man? She's green berets. This is crazy.
Again, this is across from
This woman
920
is
North
not
King,
sane.
and it starts with a huge construction site. There's a huge construction site right across from there. And there's a long red crane that he points out. And I'm going to show you that crane right now. because this person sent videos, because LOL to anybody who thought that we were being, that actually, I love it because it pissed him off. And now he's really on the ground here. You can see that crane up there. And that's just a reference point to what he's speaking about.
Okay, hold on. That's the library. So let me bring this up. So when I was there, this thing with this building with the blue lights on it, that is the library. And people were asking where they're like homeless people outside. And right across where all that bright light is, that's the 920 building. What does the red crane got to do with anything? All it is I can see there's a red crane. The fact that Candace does not realize that I still believe she's being punked, that's going to be studied by science. Like, ma'am, the person is telling you in 4K that he's making fun of you, and you're still not getting it. That's some crazy work. Okay, fine. There's a red crane. What's that got to do with anything? Did the red crane shoot Charlie Kirk? Oh my gosh. This is some crazy work.
You can follow along here. That crane is situated on 1100 North King Street. Let's bring up the map here so you can see what's going on here, okay?
Okay.
What I found on 1100 1100 North King Street is big. The actual building is called the Brace Bridge Complex. It spans over 1 million square feet. It seems it was originally built for the Maryland Bank as their bank headquarters from 1995 until 2006 when Bank of America acquired it. But in 2018, remember that's going to be the year that Macron comes to power, Bank of America pulled out of a few of the buildings and they left it completely empty. Here is an article showing you that that is true and that Bank of America did in fact pull out of that building. It leaves the Wilmington office space empty.
What's that got to do with anything?
He or she goes on to write, so you might be wondering what happened after it was left vacant. Well, in 2024, legislation was passed which would provide financial support to the Longwood Foundation, a philanthropic nonprofit that was founded by Pierre S. DuPont to make it function as a quote-unquote educational center. There's just one problem with that. Pierre S. DuPont was a member of the French-American family DuPont, which was descended from Pierre Samuel DuPont de Nemours, excuse my terrible French, a French aristocrat. DuPont also has extreme ties to both the American and the French military. Obviously, we know that, as they are the original manufacturers of Kevlar, which has been historically regarded as the greatest way to make bulletproof armor. So now we have this prominent French family connected to this building. I think you're right to keep looking at French. People even shared concerns about what was actually happening at that building. There was a resident named Miriam Deed who said, quote, "I just feel like I don't understand why we're doing this without there being more accountability." So in 2024, and we can show you that article, he's telling the truth. We're fact checking that. People were like, what's going on in this like massive, what is the accountability here with this massive complex? Okay. He goes on to say, as you can see, the complex covers 6 different buildings, all connected to both French Street. You can bring up that map, Chris, whenever, because I'm just going to keep speaking. All connected to both French Street and King Street. Okay. Now, people on X, he goes on, who were trying to pretend that this was some prank, said the FBI is actually at 500 Delaware Avenue, right? And 500 Delaware Avenue is a couple of blocks over. We can show you that.
Who is
on the map
arguing
as well.
this?
Can you pull up 500 North Delaware?
She has now currently shown us more information about the streets of Delaware than she has about the proof that somebody put a hit out on her. Let that settle in.
That is also somehow owned by France. Why is the FBI in that building? Who knows? But also having a division inside of this building is true. He says that 500 North Delaware Avenue is a cover because guess what that building is? It's another bank center. This time, it's the Wilmington Savings Fund Society. In 1990, nearly all of Lower Delaware branches of WSFS were sold to Wilmington Trust, which was founded by T. Coleman DuPont, the French-American then president of DuPont, to manage the growing fortune of the French-American DuPont family. And guess where the Wilmington Trust is actually located?
Where?
It's located at 1100 North Market Street.
Oh my
The building
gosh.
that is right next to 1100 North King Street. And
Oh,
both
my
are
word.
on Rodney Square. So again, we're going back to that Rodney Square. Everything is French that's happening on Rodney Square. So they were using another bank as a cover. Doesn't actually disprove anything at all.
But you know what? It also doesn't prove anything. It doesn't disprove anything, but it also doesn't prove anything, Candace. Wow. Y'all, what in the world are we listening to? Please don't have any commercial breaks. Just get done, Candace. This is
To keep
ridiculous.
researching is that a law firm, MG&M, moved to 500 Delaware Avenue just a few months before Charlie was assassinated. Now, that could be a coincidence, but MG&M has many employees that are either fluent in French or connected connected to France altogether. The FBI apparently has Suite 300 and MGM has Suite 200, which I believe is exactly right below where the FBI says that they are. Okay? Now he gets back into the crane location, right?
The fact that she
Because
thinks this
there
makes
seems to be
sense.
no public record of what the actual construction project is that is happening online, except for the fact that apparently a global biopharmaceutical company
Oh my
called
gosh.
Insight owns it. Okay.
Oh my
If they're
gosh.
using this construction site, it seems to me that they're doing it to buy time, because I actually know they're using it to buy time because they claim that it's construction in this article. On May 2024, they say that construction is expected to take about a year. Okay, well, it's been over a year. It's been about 2 years. And by the looks of it, the entire top of that building being a skeleton tells me that it's probably going to be a few years after that as well.
It's funny because the person, again, I still think this person is punking her. And they just realize that, oh, I can double, triple, quadruple down. The person is just reading an article as well. They've given you no proof, Candace. They've given you no proof that what they're saying is actually true. They're just saying it from these, giving you news articles that you could find and trying to tacitly tie these together to banks and bio companies and Kevlar makers. What are we talking about? This is crazy work, y'all. Look, I say that a lot, but this is crazy work.
This is clearly not taking about a year. Also, guess who the longtime CEO of that biopharmaceutical company Insight was? Hervé Hopno. And guess what? He is also French. He's not just French, but he is a French national. He seems to have just exited as the CEO, but he is still running the company under the role of advisor to the CEO. He is directly responsible for this construction at Bracebridge, and he was the one that finalized the deal. I find it very strange how he ran this company for more than a decade. Then, for some reason, just a few months before Charlie's death, he decides to switch roles and to start laying low. Now, I'm not saying he's directly tied to anything. I'm just saying that these are all verifiable coincidences. Insight, that's the biopharmaceutical company that he runs, is also plugged directly into the federal medical supply chains, which include our VA systems that interface with military healthcare infrastructure. Okay. So to pull us all together, we have an entire French street that is connected to 920 North King Street, the aircraft hangar and its company Satis, which is French aligned, connected to 920 North King Street, DuPont, the French aligned, connected to 1100 North King Street, the biopharmaceutical company Insight, which is also French aligned, connected to 1100.
I got to stop because this is literally insanity. I'm sorry. There's no way that this is normal behavior.
20 North King
I'm
Street.
sorry.
And we have my lawyers and we have Brigitte lawyers. I am not loving this.
Ma'am, we're not loving this either. Join the club. Join the club, Candy. We don't love it either because we're watching what we really probably believe is like person who's mentally deficient abuse. Like I feel guilty watching this now because I'm like, yo, I think this woman's having a mental crisis and we're sitting here laughing and making fun of it. I feel like I might be bad for that.
Okay. I'm just not loving the fact that I get a call from the federal government asking me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And I think that it's kind of a funny story that'll one day be in my autobiography. Truly, that was my thought. Like, it's funny that we're on the phone talking about like the French, why is he married to somebody born a male? And I clearly was not thinking that there was maybe sort of an implicit threat involved here, like literally just stop speaking about her. And I really do wish going back that they had tried honesty, right? They had said, hey, Brigitte might be an asset to the Mossad, which is what we had received a tip regarding that we were working on.
No evidence.
Confirming during Becoming Brigitte season
No
2.
evidence.
I wish they had been more explicit and said, we really actually need you to shut up about this forever. And I probably would have done it if they were just honest and said it's a national security issue. But instead they went with Emmanuel Macron's feelings are hurt, which I thought was LOL funny, and obviously wanted to continue to speak about this. I don't even know what to make of this other than, and you
Nor
can tell
do
me if
we.
you agree,
We don't
I
either.
feel like I was set up by the federal government in terms of this lawsuit. Like this wasn't just Brigitte and Emmanuel sitting down making a mistake by filing this national lawsuit, but rather federal agencies which may have been colluding and speaking to one another about how to put an end to my research into who Brigitte was, because all of these governments are implicated. And by all of them, I mean France, the United States, and Israel, implicated in whatever the hell Jean-Michel Trogneau was up to during the missing years of his life when he was in the military and on its surface in America. Because Brigitte says he was in America. We know Brigitte was in America in the 60s, at least,
What
for
is she talking about,
the moon
Lord?
landing. No details provided about what Brigitte was doing when he experienced the moon landing with Americans. I'm not getting the feeling that Jean-Michel Trogneau was just chilling at his aunt's house, okay? That was a psychological operation. I'm pretty convinced that Brigitte Macron has been involved on the basis of my lawsuit and the mentioning of MK Ultra 18 times absurdly in my lawsuit, even though all we said was, hey, Brigitte's fake birthday happens to be the same day as the MK Ultra program. I'm thinking there might be something there. Like Brigitte is involved in the military file. Jean-Michel Trogneau is involved in psychological operations. Okay. And I should also mention to you that the second.
No, you should not mention a dang thing to us. I'm sorry. This is abuse. This is actual traumatizing. Oh my gosh, my eyes are watering. What in the Lord's name is this woman talking about? I think she just broke a land speed record for just putting out unadulterated foolishness. I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm rage quitting my own show again. I told y'all, I'm done. I'm finished. Shout out to the best, most electrifying live chat on the whole planet. I don't care. I'm not doing this to y'all. This is cruel and unusual punishment. I don't even use profanity. I want to use profanity to express exactly how I'm feeling at this moment. That's how bad it is. It really is bad. We have now crossed the Rubicon of bad. And like, what in the heck are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Greetings from Texas. Slayer Princess with the $2 super. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Avenger another 2 says this. Thanks for everything, Jay. Man, Lord have mercy. I don't think I'm going to make it, y'all. I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm going to come back to it. I'm not going to rage quit. I'm going to let her get through her commercial break, and then we'll try to come back. Shout out to Irene from Brit USA with the $10 says, why would they bother suing her if they could just delete her? Can we stop there and just take some time and critically think? Since she likes talking like we're children, put on your thinking caps. Why would they do all this if they had the power to delete you just like that? Because Lord knows you go out there to Dollywood, you're out there in the public, you're out in the streets. Why would they not just delete you if they could do all this that you're talking about? Continue. I hope they add this to the lawsuit and sue her for a greater amount. Amen. Like I'm looking right now and I see there's been no amended complaint. I bet you there's going to be an amended complaint before this thing's over with. But that's just me. Yeah, this is crazy work. Shout out to Captain Jax with the 5 says this. Anyone who has sat through a Candyland conspiracy show knows nothing she says is plausible. I'm like, how are you doing this? This is some crazy work, y'all. She done brought y'all, shout out to the Red Crane. Y'all put Red Crane in the chat. She looks up whenever she's lying about details. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, Downtown D, for the $2 super. Most of the stuff she's talking about is lying. I'm sorry. And she's mad. She's mad because on X, people are not falling hook, line, and sinker for the stuff that she's been saying. I really think that's what the problem is. Thank you so very much. Welcome Kelly Bagwell, brand new member up in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you so much and welcome. What does Black Sigma say with the 5? It is sad for me to say Benny Johnson, Tatum, and Patrick Bet David is believing this Candy assassination lie. I want to see after today, I want to see, we're going to have to keep a running tally of who still believes this story after today. Because this right here is insanity. I mean, this is pure, utter insanity. Candace suggests everything and says nothing. Thank you so much, Avengers, for the $2 super as well. All right. $6, $7 Canadian. Lila Rose says it's our Lila Rose. Bet you hear an attempt to getting the lawsuit dismissed is about to fail. Oh, no question about that. I totally believe that's why we're here. I totally believe that. Shout out and thank you so very much, Survivor. I want to say Survivor Owl. Survivor, I think Wisconsin, with the $10 says this. She has no shame, no repentance at all. She does not know the Most High. And I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much for that very kind $10 super. I appreciate it. France is not a Five Eye partner. They spy on the U.S. Thank you so much, Phantom, with the $2. At this point, I don't think she even cares that she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm confident that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Hold on one second. All right, she's almost done with her ad read. So let's go. Did you see the French gangs when you were in Wilmington? Candy is losing her mind. Yo, shout out with the Wing fam with the $5. No, I didn't see any French gangs. I didn't see any French graffiti around or anything like that. Anybody running around throwing baguettes at people, drive-by baguettes, nothing. Again, I stand by a $100 super chat that TPUSA will never sue Candace. You know what? I'm not going to even put that. Thank you for the $5 Sigma. I'm not going to bet you on that. I'm not, because I got a bad feeling that you're 100% correct. I talked to somebody this weekend, and I've concluded that I don't think they're going to do anything. Now, that doesn't mean she's not going to get consequences, but I don't think they're going to come from TPUSA as much as they probably need to. Luna says this with the 2. If this was real, Alex Jones would be backing her. That's a good point. Like, I think the fact of who is not backing her is pretty telling, as well as who is not saying anything. These are all news outlets that are just reporting her tweets. These are all news outlets and such like that are just regurgitating the tweet. Nobody's actually seen evidence. And we watched this whole weekend, Brandon Tatum trying to explain himself when he literally was out here caping for her, only to later on say, yeah, my bad. I didn't know what I was talking about. Thank you so much. Jana, been a member for a month. Candy Crane is her new name. That is hilarious. Candy Crane. What is up with the Candy Crane? Who texts the FBI that they fear for their lives? I don't know. Rena with the $2 super, I have no idea. And then get mad that they didn't reply back. And by the way, she didn't say she'd text the FBI, somebody who works in the FBI. It could be anybody. Who has no pull, no power, whatever. Can we get a palate cleanse? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to get one queued up in a second while we get back to this from this ad break. So let's get done. I know I said some rage quit. I quit rage quitting.
Directly to your front door. 515 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help. I actually decided I am going to read this because we're just going in. And this is another tip not related to the person whose email that I just read that made me aware that Wilmington, Delaware is just very French. This person writes to me, hey, you should also know that area is transgendered central. There are 5 different Nemo children hospital centers nearby. Yes, they perform transgender surgeries, or yes, they do transgender rather. Nemours children's hospitals are named for Nemours, France, the home of the DuPont family. Hotel DuPont is obviously walking distance from 920 King. First and Central Presbyterian Church is an LGBTQ church that is across from that hotel. Cab Calloway School is a short 10-minute drive, and this is where our transgendered Congressman McBride graduated from. Theater is a 5-minute walk. They feature transgendered productions with a drag show at least every month. The Queen is an 8-minute walk. They are advertising Disney drag brunches. 20 minutes back toward the airport, you will find a multitude of plastic surgeons, and then they list them. Wilmington University is nearby, where they offer LGBTQ programs for kids, and Transition Delaware LLC, which offers counseling and etc., has 2 locations, and then they list them. So it's a lot of transgenderism happening in that area, which is of interest to me.
But it's not interest to you that Tyler Robinson's gay, furry, transgender, trans Antifa, that doesn't matter at all. This is ridiculous. Y'all, let me get a palate cleanse ready. We gotta get ready.
I just started a poll, by the way. We are live on YouTube. I asked a very simple question. Do you think that this lawsuit was an operation against me? That it was meant to bankrupt me? Because options when the federal government is feeling squeezed is to kill you, it's warfare.
That's interesting.
Or it's like mental warfare. They put you in a hospital and say you're crazy and drug you. And like they did to Britney Spears, like they did to Kanye West, or they bankrupt you, right? That's also one of the mechanisms. Do you guys think?
Okay, y'all, watch my video I did last night. Looking at Lily Gaddis. And during the video, I said, hey, notice how much she sounds like Candace Owens. That's almost verbatim what Lily Gaddis said yesterday. That's crazy work, y'all. I cannot even take this anymore. I really cannot take this video anymore. This is insanity. Wow. Get done. Let's go.
That this entire thing was a trap because I didn't shut up about Brigitte. And that the federal government knew that it was coming, which would explain why they never commented on the absurdity of a foreign nation coming after our speech. They are not acting right? Common sense. You say you care to protect free speech. Why wouldn't you comment on something that involves a foreign leader that is infringing upon the speech of Americans, even if I had made up something about Brigitte, which I did not? So we're going to run that poll until the end of this show, which is coming much sooner than I anticipated. We're not going to get to everything today. Don't worry.
I just got to say this. Candace has never done a live poll. You know why? Because Candace's show is always recorded. Why did she do this today? I think because a lot of people have been calling her out about her show being pre-recorded and her not interacting with her live chat. And therefore, she had to prove it. Now, the problem is you could still do a poll even and not have in a pre-recorded video. So she still doesn't know that, but she's trying to prove that she actually engages with the live chat and that she's not a pre-recorded show. That's wild work, man. This is insane, y'all. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh.
I have more for you tomorrow. Like I said,
More
it's
tomorrow.
going to be a long week. I do want to get to this commentary because I honestly don't even understand what is happening to PBD's show, which I very much used to enjoy. I see clips floating around, so you know it's not fair to paint with a broad brush, but a broad stroke. But I will say that Adam Sosnick is reaching levels of absurdity here, rather than at all trying to prod the narrative of whether or not there was actually an assassination attempt on my life.
Why don't you give the proof?
He decides to respond to this allegation by saying that I have no famous friends. I kid you not. This is the level of insincerity that you can almost say it's laughable at this moment of people that are engaged in the sport of politics. Take a listen to what Adam Sosnick had to say on Patrick Bet-David's podcast.
Disgusting thing. Forget about what she said about Israel and Jews and BLM and liberals. This is friendship stuff. This is friendship stuff. The most valuable currency you have are the relationships you have, your friends. In my opinion, she's burned every bridge she's ever been associated with. Whether that's Turning Point USA, whether that's the Daily Wire, whether that's PragerU, Charlie Kirk, Steven Crowder. I don't know what's going on even in this room, but it's not like we're loving what she's doing these days. I'm asking you a serious question. Who are her friends at this point?
Well,
To
I
me,
do
she's
think she
very
has friends.
lonely.
No, I think she's very close with Tucker. I do think she has a group
How many
of
more
friends.
can you name, though? Other than Tucker,
yeah.
genuine question. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. Who's Candace's friends? Who are her allies? Can we name a name? Anyone?
Oh,
Anyone?
she's got more than you would believe.
Name a name.
No, she's got a lot of them.
I'm sure that there's
She does.
Twitter army out there.
Yeah,
But what famous names advocates are saying, I'm with Candace? Tucker, maybe? Who else?
No,
I can't name.
I understand what he's saying. I know she's going to get offended. She's looking mad. I understand what he's saying, and I think what he's saying is, in my opinion, does make sense. Like, why are they not coming out and defending you or coming out in response to you and whatever of that nature? I can kind of understand where he's going with that. So, okay.
Name one.
It's just, I want to, guys, just because we got to all wake up to this matrix, okay? First and foremost, nothing he is saying is true. The first thing I'd like to clarify is I have never been friends with Steven Crowder. I just feel like that is really not good dirt to throw on my name. I just have better intuition than that. Secondly, my friend Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck, hence the reason we're doing this entire podcast investigation into what actually happened on that day. Now, you seem to be naming employers regarding the Daily Wire. I am still friends with every single one of my colleagues that I was friends when I went in there. And yeah, when you leave a job, you don't tend to hang out with management on your way out. So I'm not sure what you're referencing here. If you mean that I am not one of those basic bitches who needs to post every second of when I'm hanging out with people so that people think that I'm cool and I'm surrounded by individuals, you would be right. Because I'm a person who grew up on Kanye West's music. And it's so funny that I was blasting his early music, one of his first songs, All Falls Down, and he speaks about this. This is how they create the matrix. Insecure men speak like that, okay? They want...
Okay, I'm going to jump in. And I don't know Adam on PBD. Shout out to PBD. You know, you want to holler at your boy, holler at him. What I believe Adam, and y'all can feel free to jump in. Let me know. What I think Adam is saying is that he's asking the question by making a statement. Do you have friends that can stop you and talk to you and, dare I say, correct you and say, hey, you're going a little bit off the rails? That's what I understood Adam to say. And I would probably say, if I were having this discussion, I probably would have said, is she in a church? That would have been my statement. Is she in a church where a pastor, elders, leaders can talk to you about where you are? That's what I'm understanding him to have been saying. Like, you need somebody who can sit down, come over your house, have some wings with you, crack open a beer, and say, yo, you are wilding the heck out. You need to get your stuff together. Get off the internet, go outside, chop some wood or something. You need friends. That's what I'm understanding him to mean. I don't think he's saying she doesn't have any friends at all. I think he means like you have friends that can really call you on the carpet. And I've told y'all tons of stories about the brothers that I have in my life who can pick up the phone. If my wife is having an issue, she can call them and be like, Jason's acting crazy. Okay. Or she can call my pastor, or she can call my shepherding elder, or my my head deacon, and be like, Jason's acting a fool. And we can get some things corrected. Right. That's what I'm believing he's trying to say. I don't believe he's saying that she don't have any friends at all. I just wonder, does he have friends that can speak into her life and pull her out of this crazy cycle that she's in? That's what I'm understanding him as saying.
People who are insecure to allow terrible things to happen because they say, well, you can hang out with me. You can hang out. All you have to do is just not talk about the Epstein files, and you might get invited to Mar-a-Lago. Don't you want to be invited to Mar-a-Lago? Don't you want to go to Mar-a-Lago? Then why don't you look away when we talk about children being abused? It's so weird. Like, don't you want to have like really all of the invites to Mar-a-Lago, and you can hang out, you can get dressed up and hang out with cool people in Hollywood if you just look the other way when children are being abused? This is that mentality, okay? It's disgusting, it's gross, but more importantly, it is insecure. So I want to remind you guys that your real friends do not need to be famous, okay? My best friends are not famous, and you should be close with your family. You should have real value in your life. Part of the matrix requires you to have this sort of instinct to think celebrities are cool. and that
Did he
they
say that,
glitter
though?
and they're golden. The majority of them are pretty effed up and drunk. That's the reality. No, and by the way, on the subject of who the kind of people that he's referring to, it was notoriously Eric Bowling that sat across from Adam when they attacked me over Charlie Kirk and lied and said that I hadn't been friends with Charlie Kirk since 2017. After that episode, Eric Bowling sent me an email and apologized and said it was Adam's fault. And he didn't even know Adam's name. I think he called him Sam in the email. I should actually pull it and I'll post it on
No.
on Instagram. Didn't even know through Adam and PBD's.
She again, I've lost track how much information she's thrown out here. But if you've been keeping track, it's definitely north of 12, maybe even 15 elements that she's thrown out. This is crazy work.
Entire team under the bus in 3 seconds and said, I just want to apologize with you, Candace, because that's how politics work. They all stab each other in the back, and they all do it because they think they're on the pursuit of like fame and riches. We are not going to save the West in general from the absolute sexual deviants that run it, the liars and the crooks that run the West, if we have the attitude that we need to be well liked by famous people who are all drunk.
I don't think
Truly,
anybody
they're all
said
just a
that.
bunch of drunks hanging out in DC. That's the reality of the political field. Get real value in your life. And that's what I want to say about that before I get into some of your questions. Poll is still running, by the way. I will tell you the total when we come back from this brief break.
Because I got to make sure
Alright,
you
guys, I
know
want to remind you about Fair
that
Talk and all the time that I have been endorsing my
I got to
wellness
make sure
company,
you
Fair Talk.
know that what we're watching is live. It's not recorded, as Jason keeps saying. Wasn't she drunk? That is crazy work. Y'all, I have no idea what we're dealing with. I mean, this is insane, y'all. Like, it is very interesting. I don't even know what to do. I have no idea. Shout out. Thank you so very much. Scopine with the $10 super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Robin says this, Colin and I go solve Manson case doing Candy Doc. Really? This is such a this story is bananas. I cannot believe what we're watching today. No state cares to offer. If so, she'd be gone. I agree with you, Phantom, 100%. Thank you for the $2 super. Why offer? Let her just sit there and keep talking crazy. Like, why? And Robin says this again with the 2. Benny is now backing Candy too. I mean, Benny Johnson, good luck, man. God bless you, man. Go ahead. After today, if Benny Johnson is still supporting this, okay, whatever. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I can't say anything because this is insanity what we're watching. We are watching pure, unadulterated, I believe, insanity. And I do believe it's going to get worse. I do believe that because she's not getting the support that she thought she would get on X. She's not getting that support that hold on. Why does YouTube still alive? I don't know. That's a great question. Shout out. Oh, here she's back. Your girl's back.
Post a receipt, they'll say it never happened. So we're going to pull that email that Eric Bowling sent about Adam because it really demonstrates the fickleness of politics. First, getting to the poll, I asked you with all that information, do you believe the federal government worked behind the scenes to try to bankrupt me over Brigitte, which is something that I had never considered until now and learning about what goes on in this corner.
But she's said this, though. She has already floated out the idea that they were going to bankrupt her. Hence, before they even sued her, she was hypothesizing that they were going to bankrupt her. This is wild work, man. It's like she doesn't listen to herself.
Of Wilmington, Delaware. 24,856 people voted. Oh, now it's about to cross 25,000 people voted. 93% of you say yes. Okay. Just making sure that you're all having the same gut instinct of me of why the heck did they sue in Delaware? What is this never before seen lawsuit? It is a consequence from the Matrix for me discussing a multinational state secret, which is Brigitte Macron.
And please keep in mind, she hasn't mentioned that the lawsuit is in the wrong jurisdiction because that was one of her reasons for dismissal, and that's going to get thrown out. So that's why she's not bringing this up. But she's trying because she knows that it's about to happen. Because if she knew that the case was going to get thrown out, she wouldn't be talking. She'd be end zone dancing. But now she's woe is me, sky's falling, the world is going, hell in the handbasket. because she knows she's about to get that work. Goodness gracious.
Macron's true origins, what Brigitte Macron was involved in the United States while living as Jean-Michel Trogneau. And by the way, I think there's another identity in between there that happens potentially in the 80s for Brigitte before he emerges as a woman. And I think it's quite dark, whatever that secret is, to be honest with you. But we had kind of gotten sidetracked on becoming Brigitte, and we should maybe get back involved in it. Anyways, getting into the top comment from the last episode, and Skylar, just let me know when you have that email ready. This was from Knit Unravel wrote, how did Andrew Colvett know that it was supposed to be Candace if the killer is Tyler Robinson? That was actually something that I had never considered. I told you guys that Andrew Colvett called me from the hospital and basically said, you and Tucker should shut up because you guys are on a list. What list? Nobody mentioned that Tyler Robinson had a list. And certainly if he's killing over the topic of transgenderism, I don't think me and Tucker would be high on it. So yeah, what are we speaking about? If this was a lone shooter and just a random incident because he was defending his lover, how is there a list? What was that list that was happening behind the scenes? It's almost like Tucker and I were being threatened from the United States military. And I should really say the global state military, because I do believe that we are run by the military and that the idea of democracy is an utter delusion. Now, okay, great. We have the email, just to fact check this because it's funny, and we should now call him Alex for the rest of our lives. Eric wrote, hey man, this was an email, by the way, to my PR. Tell Candace I meant no harm to her. It was that Alex guy who kept at it. He tried to corner me and he found out. If she wants to talk, I'll call her. If not, no worries. I've lost too many people in my life to get too emotional about these things. I've always respected CO. That moment got blown out of proportion. Anyway, I remain. And my message back was, keep that same energy. You went onto a podcast. You lied about my relationship with Charlie right after he died when I was still reeling from so many.
But where's the evidence of the assassination plot? Because again, you've shown, I think we're at like 15 pieces of evidence today, 15 pieces of information. Where's the evidence for the assassination plot? That's what we need. Let's get done. Let's let it go.
Emotions. I was then being attacked and lied about a very real relationship that I had in my life. And you're just going to privately email this little sucker apology. Keep the same energy. Do it publicly. Say I lied or I misspoke, whichever it is. He's not done that. He's not moved to do that. I don't believe he did. At least it wasn't sent to us. And he calls, he throws that guy Alex or whatever who wouldn't stop talking. So that's him. He's just Alex who won't stop talking on the PBD podcast because his only mission in life is to defend Zionism, to defend Zionists and to attack people who don't like what Israel is doing, which is virtually everybody at this point. So anyways,
how did Zionism get into it? Oh, we're talking about the French. Like, I don't even know who we're talking about anymore. Like, this is super confusing. You need a slide ruler, an abacus, and a secret decoder ring. What are we doing here, Candace?
Over time that I don't know that we're gonna have too much space here for comments, and we have so much to cover this week. I'll read a couple of these. Mickey Shaw writes, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We fear no man. Candace is our champion. Jesus is our king. Bless you. And that is true. We just have to commit ourselves to truth. And like I said, I sense an urgency right now. They are being so evil in our faces. They chose to publicly execute Charlie and then to dare us to question the narrative. That's scary. It's meant to scare you and to instill fear in you. And the response to this, of course, has to be more truth. We cannot be fearful. We have to keep telling the truth. Fegliano writes, these elites are horror show cruel. I'm understanding in a way that I didn't before why people believe in God. In the face of this, it provides meaning and comfort available from little else. Shame on officials everywhere who disregard morality, especially the powerful ones. Also, Nick, stop being so ignorant. It's annoying. Genevieve writes, Candace, you are my personal hero. Go Max. 6-7 writes, Candace is based. Blessed Butterfly Girl writes, Jeremiah 1:7-8, don't be afraid to speak. And also Corinthians 3:17, where God is, there is liberty. Absolutely. And that is why, I'm putting the information out there. I think people need to know that this is how things are planned. There's nothing that makes sense about what happened on that day. And when you speak to the UVU students, the fact that they didn't recognize anybody indicates that we might be looking at military regiments that were there. And from the information that I am getting, which I'm going to explain later this week, I think there were some National Guard regiments that were there, some French Foreign Legionnaires that were there, and yes, some Israelis that were there, hence the 12 Israeli cell phones, and that information is all going to come to light. Like I said to you from the beginning, I never had for a single second the sense that they were going to get away with it this time. I felt the devil had overplayed his hand, and that is the circumstance. We are seeing that. I think Brigitte overplayed his hand. I think Jean-Michel Trogneau, the evidence is pointing to the fact that he is from a very powerful old family. That's pretty obvious to me. The entire Trogneau backstory makes entirely no sense, saying that they were chocolatiers and things were never interrupted. They just ran this chocolatier factory from like the 1880s all the way through to now. Not possible. Nazis did an aerial bombardment. They occupied the city of Amiens. This seems to me to be an identity that was just created and materialized for this family, and that the true family is a very powerful family, and that is why they are so obsessed with protecting this absurd state secret. The whole world knows this is a dude. What are we doing here? And they are willing to go mask down and to expose themselves to keep up this pretense, to keep pretending that it's a woman. Why did Jean-Michel have to transition, quote unquote, transition into a woman? What was Jean-Michel Trogneau involved in that required that transition? These are now the questions that I'm asking myself. And you know what? If the federal government is going to bankrupt us for telling the truth, then I'm going to have to be the example for the world to wake up to that, okay? Then even this lawsuit in a weird way is blessed because it is exposing every layer of corruption that exists, that even when you do things the right way your entire life, when you don't commit any crimes, when you do the right thing and you find someone that loves you, you get married, you have children, that you will be attacked for surviving the matrix and committing yourself to truth. That feels like a very important lesson for the entire world to wake up to. And I think the entire world is waking up to that right now. So you know what? Joke's on you. You will be hoisted by your own petard. And we will end with that French expression. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
She is mad. I don't care what y'all say. She is. I thought she was mad last week. She is mad. And I think it's because she realizes that the case is not going to be dismissed. I'm looking at the docket. No new information. Really, no information really came out at all last month pertaining to it. So I thought they were going to come up with a determine on the dismissal last week, but apparently not. So that's whatever. But she's mad. She's fit to be tied. And this idea like the whole world is going to be paying, ma'am, the whole world is laughing at you. I wish I could play that Teddy Pendergrass song. The whole town is laughing at you. They're not sitting there looking at you as some kind of role model, looking at you taking one for the team, ma'am. They're looking at you as a cautionary tale of somebody who doesn't know how to stop doing the wrong thing. And you're doing the most. You've been doing the most. Now you're going to have to pay the most. This is crazy work. Y'all, shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Y'all, can we get 1,000 likes on here? Can we just get everybody who didn't already hit a like, just hit the like button. Hype the video, all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, I'm begging. Yeah, I'm begging. Yeah, I am. Help your boy out, man. Come on. This thing traumatized me, man. This thing traumatized me. This video was a mess, man. What is she talking about? Yo, this is a mess. Please hit the like button. We're going to clean the palette. I'm going to get out of here. I hear my wife is in the kitchen cooking something. So I got to get in there. Something is being prepared for your boy. All right, let's go check out. Let's see if Ami's got another good one for us. Let's clean the palette. Get an Ami Kozak comedy routine in here. We do want to say thank you very much to Captain Jax. What does Captain Jax say here? That email was supposed to prove she remained friends with Charlie after 2017. Okay. I don't get how that worked. I hate it because she puts out the biggest nothing burgers. Like, you think this is the bombshell, and it's like, what happened? What was that? Just because she talked to Adam or Alex rather, or whoever it was, what was that supposed to be? All right, let's see. Does he have any good ones that we have not seen? Oh, let's look at some shorts. Oh, we got a whole bunch of Tucker Carlson ones. My gosh. All right, let's bring Ami in. Ami's going to clean the palette. We're going to use Ami to bring us back to sanity. Tucker Carlson at Thanksgiving. I can only imagine. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
Tucker, how was your Thanksgiving? Actually, I hate Thanksgiving. I really hate it, actually. You hate Thanksgiving? Yeah, I mean, I think it's gay. You think Thanksgiving is gay? I do. Probably one of the gayest holidays, actually. I really believe that. I do. Tucker, how is Thanksgiving gay? What do you mean? I mean, for one thing, you're stuffing a turkey. Have you ever seen a turkey stuffed? I mean, it's perverse. It's disgusting. It's not natural. And I'm offended by that. I really am. I'm deeply offended by that. I mean, who does that? And you look at depictions of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. I mean, the Native Americans are shirtless. What? They're passing around corn on the cob. I mean, that's certainly gay propaganda. I mean, isn't it? Isn't it just gay propaganda? No. It is, to me, at least. And I think the demon that molested me might have been a turkey. Wait, what? So it was a turkey? That's why when I laugh, it sounds like a turkey gobbling. It does. Oh, so that's why you do that. Yeah. You were molested by a turkey. It's a gay bird. It all makes sense now. And what are your thoughts on Christmas? Lesbian. Christmas is lesbian? Totally. Go. Tucker, how was your Thanksgiving? Actually, I hate Thanksgiving. I really hate it, actually. You hate Thanksgiving?
Why is he like this, man? Why are you like this? Advice to Tucker Carlson. I'm trying to see. All right, let's go advice to Tucker Carlson, and then I'm going to go get dinner.
Hey!
All right, hold on.
I just think Hitler was a great painter, and so the fact that people don't talk about that, it doesn't get discussed at all. And I just think that's wrong. I mean, I want to be able to talk about his artwork, talk about his painting. I think it was beautiful. I think it was really beautiful. And the minute you say that, it's, oh, shut up, Nazi! Shut up, Nazi! I'm sorry, no. I don't understand that at all. Well, he's kind of known for other things, Tucker. Oh, and I'm against those things. The man slaughtered millions and millions of people, men, women, and children. And I totally get that. I think that was totally wrong. It was terrible. It was awful what he did. But have you seen his landscapes? I mean... Hitler's landscapes? Stunning. Beautiful, actually. And so the fact that I'm bringing up his paintings, you want me to shut up about that because you don't like it? I'm sorry, but no, I'm not going to shut up about it. No one's going to shut up about it. You could kill me. You could kill everybody. Yeah, that's kind of what Hitler did. Well, I like art. And what do you think of Chairman Mao Zedong? He was a great poet. Oh, God. And what about Stalin? Let's circle back to that. Probably should. Just kidding. I just think Hitler was a great painter. And
Ami's a mess. Shout out to Ami for sure. All right, good people. Y'all, this was a crazy show. I have no idea what we watched. I apologize to the 1,300 of y'all that tapped in. I have no idea what we watched. Candace is truly glitching out. I think she truly is glitching out. She wouldn't kick the dog after this, I'm sure. That was wild. It was totally wild. And I have no idea what to do with that. We're going to have to find something to do. Let's do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have Nathan Livingstone on. And if we can't, if Candace goes long or something of that nature or starts late, maybe we'll just record hers and then do it afterwards. Maybe if Nathan comes on and we can do it simultaneously, Nathan and I can talk about it and as such, and I can put his interview, save that for another time. This is wild though. I honestly am speechless. Like, what did we just watch? That was some crazy work. But thank y'all so much, everybody. Thank you so much for the very kind super chats. Thank you so much to the people that sent me some PayPals and buy me a coffees for sure. Thank you very much for that. It does help out a lot. I'm going to be remodeling and redoing some changes in the studio real soon, and it's going to be because of y'all. So thank you so much. Thank you for all the members, and of course, and all of the subscribers and everybody in the best live chat on the internet. I didn't say this. Yes, Milk Bar TV. So please, Nathan will be here tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I just want to say thank you. I really do mean it. It means a lot that you all tap in and have fun with this and interact with the content and all that kind of stuff like that. Because you could be over at Candace's watching it, right? But I'm glad that y'all come over here, and it means a lot that you did. So thank you all so much. I'm going to see you all real soon. So until then, everybody, grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.